Previously on Capestightsandlightsabers.
What is
the point of today's episode for me not to know what's happening? Of course.
We'll find out today. But first, let's meet our co-host LJ Solar. How are you?
Hello, everybody.
And I'm Casey Jones, and you are listening to
Done.
All right, LJ. So what have you been doing this week?
Adulting, living the
Yeah.
normal everyday adult life of going to work and providing for the family.
That's good. You're doing a great job. I see you're in a smaller wing of the solar mansion today.
Yeah. I'm actually in the shed that we
Okay,
that
in
we
the
built in
shed.
the back. So yeah,
It's a tea shed. That's not bad.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the man shed back here.
Well, if you're watching this video from your man shed, be sure to give a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for everyone who has followed us so far. LJ,
Cheers.
Yes, cheers to that. I hope everyone's been doing okay. Well, actually, LJ, I had the privilege last night of being a guest host on the Superman Homepage Live podcast.
What?
Yeah, it was really great. We talked about some things, Superman, and concerning the series Superman and Lois, and that's what kind of brings us to our topic today. So today we're going to be talking about all of the canceled Superman projects that have happened throughout for a while. I don't know. Of course, we're going to miss some things. We're not going to get everything absolutely correct. So please bear with us.
Don't be mean in the comments, all right?
Don't be mean in the comments. We don't need. We're talking about Superman. That's
if you
why.
don't know, you don't know. I mean, that's as simple as it gets.
But as you know, a bunch of shit's going on. They're rebooting Superman, and James Gunn is taking over, and he's writing and storyboarding apparently now. So, but there was an image. I'm just going to show this with you. There was this image, and it just really kind of struck something in me.
Image coming up.
Yeah, screen share.
Now you've piqued my interest.
So
shit.
now
Okay.
this is just a fan drawing.
Now, before you explain what is actually happening,
Yeah.
what it looks like is.
Can you see the whole thing?
Yeah, I can see. Well, I mean, I see from here and then to his waistline, and it from his chin down to his waistline.
Exactly.
And it looks like either he or somebody else is grabbing what used to be part of his costume and ripping it off. And he's holding it there.
That's
like
right.
He's about to tear it off, right?
What used to be part of the Henry Cavill Superman costume, and now it's revealing a more traditional.
Yeah, it's very traditional.
It's even got the belt. It's even got the loops around the belt.
Oh wait, yeah. You know what? That is true because what he's holding looks like the newer or the new school material.
Exactly.
Whereas what's underneath is the old school material, right? The traditional the traditional blue, white.
But it looks like black, doesn't it? Compared,
It does, yeah. It does, yeah. The top part looks black.
So even they got, and this is no knock to the fans who love Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill. I think that Henry Cavill was given a bad rap, and he was not given a good script. And if he were given the chance to succeed and fly, as it were, he may have had the chance to soar. There's too many puns in that sentence, but we're going with it, LJ. But he didn't. And so now we're trying to move on to something that I feel is going to be a breath of fresh air. What do you think, just looking at that image there?
My hand is raised.
I couldn't see. I couldn't
like,
see it, dude, because I was sharing the screen and it only shows me. Go ahead, please. Just interrupt me.
I don't know who is Henry Cavill. The actor or the producer / writer?
He's the guy who's been playing Superman here recently.
Oh, okay. So
That's his name.
not Ben Affleck, but after Ben Affleck.
So Ben Affleck is Batman.
Oh shit, I was way off, dude. What the hell? Oh, okay. So Henry Cap. Oh yeah. You know what? He has a very Supermanish.
I know, I've seen him before. Yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about. This is the guy that I remember in whatever the most recent Batman that I watched, where he came back from the dead. That's the last one I remember.
Okay. Yes. Yes. No,
is there after that? Is there stuff after that?
So you saw the Justice League, and you probably saw Batman v Superman, where they fight on a rooftop. You know, yeah, you probably have seen that.
That's the one. That's the one I remember. That's the last one I remember. Him coming back from the dead.
Yeah. But anyway,
he was pissed.
He was not happy about it.
He was dead, and he was happy about being dead.
Once he saw Lois Lane, he was okay, though. You know, that's what a good redhead will do. You know, just make you forget about everything. You'll be like, okay. But anyway, the Superman homepage was wonderful enough to have me on, and we talked about the cancellation of possibly Superman and Lois. The CW has been canceling because what's happening at I realized let me start over again.
Wait, let me just pretend what I thought you were gonna say or reenact.
Okay.
What's been happening at nauseum? Right? No? That's not what you were gonna say? Okay, so rewind it.
So, the CW has been canceling a bunch of shows like Gotham Knights and a bunch of stuff to do with Batman. And people have been concerned that Superman and Lois, this new show that has been wonderful, people have been concerned that they're going to cancel that next. And so what's happening right now, LJ, is I know you're not in the middle of this, but... in this storyline, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, LJ. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I'd like to watch it with you sometime. We'll do one of these watch-alongs. But yeah, it's a wonderful series, and right now Lois is faced with put in a very humanizing position. And Clark is having to deal with that as Superman and as Clark. And so, like, he has to go with her to these doctor's visits and stuff. And, like, it's very insane. And the way that the perspective that they put. So anyway, I'm just hoping that they weren't going to cancel that mid-storyline like they have done so many other Superman storylines. And LJ, wouldn't you know it? I have a list. Let's talk about some of the canceled Superman projects that have been cut off. Like maybe mid-storyline or hasn't had a chance to develop with any of the characters. So I know you don't know this. You probably never watched it, but there was a TV series after the movies ended. The Salkinds, who still own the rights to Superman, the producers, they did Superman 1, 2, 3, and then they sold the rights to someone else for Superman 4, and then they bought them back, right?
Sony did it.
Are
you asking me?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, LJ. This is a statement of fact.
You cannot ignore these facts.
Shit. No response required. I think we need to be clear about that.
So there was a Superboy TV series from 1988 to 1992, and it followed the adventures of a young Clark Kent during his college years. And it had ongoing storylines and stuff like that. But the show was abruptly canceled on the 4th season, leaving several storylines unresolved. For example, Superman's relationship with Lana was left open-ended, as well as his journey towards embracing his final destiny as Superman.
Okay, so wait, he goes to college and they record 4 seasons of this and they don't release it?
No, they released 4 seasons and then it was abruptly canceled. So that's the point of this. This episode is going to be talking about things that were abruptly canceled mid-storyline.
I see.
Like
okay.
I'm going to go to the door and we're going to see who's at the door. And then it's like, That's the end of season 4. We'll find out on season 5. And then there is no season 5. So that's
checked out.
That I have a list of things because in my mind, Superman has had so many canceled projects along the way. And I want to let you know about quite a few of them.
All of them. There was 75,000.
So Superboy, the TV series from 1998 to 1992, followed the adventures of young Clark during his college years.
1998 to 1992.
1988 to 1992. Anyway, he was in college. And it was just canceled, man. And I remember watching it on TV and being like, because back in the day, this was before the internet. It was before anything like that. All you had was the TV guide,
That's it.
And so if it's like, okay, well, we're taking a season break. Well, how long is a season? When does it come back? And and I remember this, and it just never came back because I used to watch it. I used to watch it as a kid, and it just never came.
And then when you watched the last episode, you were like, "You fucking kidding me, man? Like nothing?"
Well, no, you had no idea. See, that's the thing. You'd watch the last episode, and then you would just never hear from the show again.
That would suck. I don't think
Does that
I've
make
ever been in
sense?
that position, but that would suck.
You've never watched something and it's just been canceled?
No, not that I recall.
How about your mom's soap operas? Has she been watching one?
Telenovelas?
Novelas, yeah. Telenovelas. Has she been watching one and it's just been abruptly canceled because Telemundo is no longer carrying this program?
They're like, it died.
Another one.
No.
Really? No? Oh my gosh. See, this was a question I was going to ask you later, but we just got it out of the way.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't recall ever watching a series of
How about
something.
Power Rangers? Didn't we watch Power Rangers? Was there any show you watched as a kid that you were like obsessive about?
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet.
He's a hero.
Okay. So what happened to Captain Planet? Did it just stop going off the air?
You know what? Actually, yeah, it did. I mean, it just stopped. Yeah. I mean,
See, this is what we're talking about.
I guess that's true. Now that I think about it, I mean, think about Captain Planet and I think of, all the episodes, but I don't remember watching it and then thinking, what happened?
Here's a definitive ending. Here's a definitive ending. We're going out in space and we did it. We made the planet pollution free.
I don't remember there being an abrupt stop though.
It probably just went off the air.
In 1990, yo. Get that shit out of here.
Are you looking it up on your phone? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at it, yeah.
That's when it stopped?
No, that's when it started. It went for 4 seasons, so 94.
94. How long do you remember that going in your mind?
It felt like forever.
Yeah.
Felt forever.
Well, see, they may have been under syndication where they can like have keep playing these shows over and over and and make money off them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it says it went on for 6 years. Stop. Anyway, I guess that's a good point. Like I've never really thought about that. Never really thought about a show I used to watch and it just came to an end.
Well, that's what we're doing, LJ. Is we're busting balls. We're trying to come up with things of relevance. So another one that I had a very deep relationship with was Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman. Lois and Clark ran from 1993 to 1997, so 4 seasons. And it showcased the romance between Lois and Clark or between Lois and Clark. And it was canceled after its 4th season, dude. It had a lot of threads unresolved. One thing that I remember is that at the end of the episode, on the season, you know how they have season finales? That's just the end of the season. And then we're going to take a break and we'll be back. At the end of the season finale, a baby was left on their doorstep that had a Kryptonian symbol. And they opened the door and it was that. And they were like, and they looked at each other. And then it cut to black. And we never got a resolution.
They're like, sorry.
Because they're like, it's canceled. It was canceled just due to poor ratings. I mean, it really just after they got married, it really just took a skydive.
Lois and Clark got married, and then
another one is Metropolis. It's a TV series that was kind of akin to Gotham, and it was planned in a live action setting before Superman's arrival, and it was supposed to have like Lois and Lex Luthor teaming together to get to sort of like forensic science, kind of like Fringe. I kind of imagine it. I don't know if you've ever seen that show. It's a
Friends. Yeah, some Friends. Yeah,
I love Friends.
Friends with what's her face? The most famous actress in the world, or one of the Friends.
Friends.
Yeah,
Friends. No, Fringe.
Oh, Fringe. What the hell? Fringe.
Maybe that's my microphone not being close. How do you
fucking spell that? Fringe.
Yeah.
Fringer.
Yeah.
Fringe. Like cringe, but fringe.
Yeah. I don't know how to spell it. Let me look. Are you looking
at
Google?
Shit. Is it Fringe?
Yeah.
This?
Fringe. Yeah. That's a really good episode. That's a really good show, dude. But it's like forensic science, or I guess it'd be like paranormal. I have no idea.
2008 seems like a fucking lifetime ago.
But after that, there was Justice League Mortal. Now this was going on. Man, some of these kind of overlap. I think this may have been going on a little bit later. So yeah, we'll just talk about it. Whatever. Justice League Mortal. I think this was going on around the time of Smallville, that Smallville was happening. They were going to just produce another Justice League film, and it was going to be directed by George Miller. So by the time the production had gone into development, or, they had so much production art, like, as far as, like, see how all of these were full costumes. This is a photograph. They had the story, they had the film, or the outline, they had the costumes, they were ready to go. But then something happened and they pulled out. And here's another one of like the Superman. You can kind of see the Superman outfit. So let's take this in here. Batman looks like he's got some sort of knee brace or some sort of like apple, helps him like mechanically move. Oh. And that had been done in the Alex Ross like Kingdom Come version.
Well, I mean, because he's a human, he's not
exactly
immortal, so he would have to have some help to act or be the way he was, right? I get that.
Well, look at this Wonder Woman. Doesn't she look pretty awesome? There's a full version of this.
That does look pretty similar to the one that is worn in today's
Gal Gadot. Movies. She's incredible.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. That's her name. Gal Gadot.
No shit.
Yeah, it's Israel.
Not Captain.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. Shit, I couldn't think of the name.
Her name is Gal Gadot.
I thought her name was Wonder Woman.
No, the actress's name, sir.
The actress's name?
Yes.
Gal Gadot? No shit, dude. That's her fucking name.
Gal is her first name. Gadot is her last name.
No shit, dude.
Yes, man.
What the fuck? I didn't even know. So wait. What the hell?
See, I can.
No shit, dude. That's her name.
Whatever.
She's on Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, she is.
What the hell? Her name is Gal Gadot.
Gadot.
What the hell? I did not know that was. I mean, I knew who that was. I just didn't know that was her name. That's crazy.
So they even had the costumes and everything here built up, But look at him. They once again took him out of the red tights and put him in the blue tights for some weird reason. How do you feel about that crest going all the way around? Does that make you, when you look at that, does that make you think Superman?
No, it looks like he's wearing a onesie.
He looks like he's wearing a onesie.
You know what? I bet that onesie is a thong.
Just on the other side.
That's what I think. Like, you can't see the backside, and it's for that reason. It's because it's a thong.
You may be right, LJ. Oh my God. You may be right.
Never know.
But
Be a thought.
I just have to say, it doesn't just hearkening back to the image that we saw earlier. I mean, doesn't that look like the underneath here? Doesn't that just it just feels right to me? It does.
Yeah, the bottom does. It's just because I mean, if you think about the original Superman, obviously that's the traditional wear. So when you see that, just like that picture in the background, that is the tradition on your wall.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Over your right shoulder. Just kidding. No, but that is traditional. So when you see that, just like you see, let me see, what did they redo today that looks stupid compared to what it used to be?
Let's wait for this here. We'll see. What are you going to come up with? What looks stupid today that used to look badass?
Oh,
Metallica.
Yeah, dude, no joke, man. They're trying though. They're trying.
Hey, man, I've heard some good stuff from him here lately.
Yeah, some of their newer stuff that's coming out is pretty good, but it's just never going to be comparable to their original shit.
Yeah.
You know, never.
Maybe that's just a lesson we all just need to learn. Just know when you're in your original shit and make it badass, and then whenever you're not in your original shit, just call it quits.
That's it. Dude.
So another project. This one is going to blow your mind, I think, LJ. If you think that they went too far in the last one, that they had costumes, everything all set up, ready to go. This is a project called Superman Lives, and it was developed in the 1990s. And I remember going to a movie theater and seeing this poster, and it was directed by Tim Burton. It would have been directed by Tim Burton, and it was starring Nicolas Cage as Superman.
What?
Yes.
That does not even sound right. Okay, so a Tim Burton movie, when we were talking about The Night Before Christmas, which is like twisted and weird, but at the same time it's like super fucking cool. And it's a cool concept, right?
How would that apply to a Superman? You know, it's like, because at the time, I'll tell you, nobody thought that Edward Scissorhands was this fantastic film. But, you know, watching it these days, and you're just like, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, one word comes to mind when you think about shows like that: classic.
Mm-hmm.
Always, it will. There will never be anything like that ever. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And why didn't Tim Burton?
So they had gotten all the way up to pre-production. Nicolas Cage, they had sets built. The film would have been one of the biggest things, or biggest budgets of all time. He would have died, and then because at the time, Superman, the death of Superman, it was in the 90s, like 94, whenever it was. I have it somewhere here in my bookshelf. The death of Superman. And they thought he wasn't going to come back. It was played on the news as a big deal. Like, they've killed off the character of Superman. Excuse me. Got We'll cut that out. But anyway,
you know what helps with gas?
Gas X. What is it?
Food.
Chinese food.
Yeah, that helps with gas.
What do you eat?
Well, no, I guess it's not really Chinese. We went to like an Asian fusion restaurant, and it's a pad thai.
That'd be Taiwanese food.
Taiwanese?
Yeah.
Taiwanese.
Man, see, you don't go to Chu Chai. Look, we're getting off subject here. You need to go to Chu Chai more often, man. Anytime you're in Lubbock, dude, Chu Chai, it's where it's at.
It has been years since I had Chu Chai.
Well, maybe give them a try again. You know, because they're...
You know what? I have to. I haven't been in a while. And
get the hot and sour soup. That's where it's at.
No.
And the
yellow curry shrimp or pad see ew.
No. Hot and sour soup and the gongari.
All right. I'll try the hot and sour soup because that sounds a little bit more appealing.
I'm telling you, when have I ever... Think of this. When in the history of... When have I ever steered you wrong?
I'm really thinking about this, ladies and gentlemen. And Casey, you know what, man? You've never steered me wrong.
Man, that was a lot longer than I thought.
I was really thinking. I was like, well, this motherfucker told me to do something, and it wasn't a good idea.
Never. Because,
Never.
that's what you do for people who you love and you care about and you have respect for, hey, you just,
Gotta
we just
cheers each
clink.
other.
Yeah, we just clinked our glasses on the camera. It's probably not good for the camera. For those of you listening to it on the podcast.
You know what? I see that shit a lot on Snap. People be like taking like they're drinking a beer and then they'll like tap the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Just
please don't do that.
break your phone.
Please don't do that.
So anyway, getting back to Superman Lives, LJ, they had so much going into that, and everyone had been so involved. There's so much footage. There's actually a documentary all about what happened to the death of Superman Lives.
No shit.
And
golly, dude, the people took this to the next level. You only have documentaries when shit's really interesting.
And so we are going to take a little slight break and watch about 10 minutes of this, and then we're going to get back to our regular broadcasting. Okay, this is just a little trailer. It's the first 10 minutes of the film, really. I just wanted you to see it, just so you can have an idea of how crazy this could have been. Unfortunately, this great director, he passed away. So let's.
Oh damn.
Yeah, we appreciate him for digging
Rest in peace, yeah, dude.
And uncovering this. Because this would have not been uncovered if it weren't for him, Kevin Smith from Clerks, and that's awesome. Look at that, the costume. So these are some set props and ideas that they had made, He's been collecting all this for a while. It was Brainiac, See, look at these credits. Remember how I was saying they've never been able to replicate them, even with today's technology.
No shit.
Yeah, I mean, look at these credits. It doesn't look as good as it did in Superman the movie,
Oh shit, dude. Jane, Silent Bob. That's Bob.
Yeah, that's Kevin Smith, dude.
I was thinking of somebody else.
Do you remember any of that? Have you seen any of that? Anyway, see how Superman Returns and Superman the movie are like so similar. This guy, man, he used to be Barbara Streisand's hairdresser. That's a fact.
No shit.
Yeah.
Is that why his hair looks so good?
That's how he got into. Anyway, he makes a good point here. I was talking over it. I'm sorry.
This bullshit, dude.
He's basically saying that Superman was up for grabs. He's saying that the rights to Superman had been up for grabs, and because it was at the time, Warner Brothers, because it was before computers, they just assumed they had it. Those are the producers of Superman 1 through 4. So, just to pause here, John Peters, that guy who was speaking there, he was a big producer on the 1989 Batman film with Michael Keaton.
Shit.
Yeah, so he acquired those rights, and Tim Burton was...
And that's one of the biggest Batmans available today, I think.
Exactly.
Him as the Batman.
Yeah.
Like that. I think those were the best produced Batmans.
That's good. Yeah. No, I like it. Oh yeah, we're gonna get to a point where we watch some Ben Affleck, and you're just gonna have to bite your lip.
You're like, no, Ben Affleck, he's my idol.
I didn't say he was my idol.
Whenever he played Batman, it made me go, ugh.
Shut up. Oh, it's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Well, thinking about what, because sometimes
what could have been,
you get, because sometimes you do think of certain characters in your mind or how you've seen them before or in whatever original content. And then a movie comes out and you're like, really? Like, this is what you're giving me? It's nothing like, how many times I've heard Megan or Chloe say, oh, that show or that movie is nothing like the book. That's exactly what I think is happening here.
Exactly. Now imagine if they did a Smallville movie. So this is not part of my notes, but we could probably hedge this one in there. I think the finale that we got on Smallville was rather mediocre at best.
I don't
No.
I don't know too much. I know of Smallville, but I don't.
And tell
I mean,
everyone
some
your
of the
daughter.
seasons.
Tell folks your daughter's name.
Chloe, named after Chloe Sullivan, the fucking sex trafficker
The
person. Or whatever the fuck
character. The character.
Exact. Well,
Not the
now everybody is.
actress. No, not the
That's true.
actress. The character.
That's
Had to
true.
Bring my mic
Initially,
up to this.
we like Chloe, the character in Smallville, because
Dude,
she
I
seemed
still
like
Chloe
a
the
very
character.
decent person, and she always did the right thing, and she loved everybody, and everybody loved her, and she was so caring. And then we found out she was a sex trafficker.
No, the actress.
lady.
And anyway,
Oh,
we
shit.
don't need to get into this.
The actress was that the actual. Anyway.
Anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, but yes.
Nicolas Cage as Superman. So there's there are pictures, dude. There's Nicolas Cage as Clark Kent. There, let me tell you, I'm not gonna do this. There's a whole. I'll insert some pictures here, maybe. There's a whole plethora of like behind the scenes footage of Nicolas Cage being a long-haired, goofy Clark Kent, and I'll show it to you off camera. But we won't hold up the people's time. Hold up the people time. Moving right along, LJ. Superman Flyby was produced by, I want to say it was the guy, J.J. Abrams. And it was like a Superman thing where Superman was sent to Earth and then Krypton did not explode. But then they came looking for him at Earth. And then he had to go back to Krypton in the ship that he was sent in. And yeah, just some crazy, stupid shit that doesn't make any sense.
No, that doesn't. I mean,
fit the character at all. It doesn't.
No, I don't think it was.
Let's just come out and say it.
Krypton was destroyed.
Exactly, because that's how. That's the lore. You know,
You're
don't
like,
fuck
exactly.
with the lore. You know.
Like,
then there was the
planet you want to go back to no longer exists.
Yeah, we can't get you the Google Drive for that. The planned sequel for Superman Returns, which was entitled Superman, the Man of Steel. Supposedly.
Isn't that a movie already?
Supposedly. Now, this was back in the day, so you can't jump ahead.
Well,
it was ultimately canceled due to creative factors. The film didn't respond to critics and to people as well as they thought it would. I remember going to watch this movie with Dalton and some of his friends, and they were amazing. And I watched the movie twice. And at the first time, at the end of it, they asked me, they're like, so what'd you think? Because they knew I'd been waiting. And it was a continuation of the Superman, the Christopher Reeve versions. And I didn't have it in the guts. I didn't have it in my guts to say I was disappointed.
Well, I guess now looking back at it,
yeah,
you think that way. But
yeah. I just wish there was more, you know.
But I get feeling that way because you're like, man, I like this so much. And I don't want to be disappointed, you know.
Yeah.
Get it.
And that brings us to The Man of Steel. Not The Man of Steel, just Man of Steel in 2013 by Zack Snyder.
The Man of Steel?
No.
No, it's just Man of Steel?
Just Man of Steel. With Henry Cavill.
The System of a Down. It's just System of a Down.
You know, there's a joke coming up here, maybe, that you may like.
Maybe.
Talking about the. Yeah, so Man of Steel. Some would say we were cheated out of a sequel for that. Because in 2013, it served as a soft reboot for the Superman franchise. And like, a lot of people thought they were going to explore, like, okay, the depths of Superman going into the Daily Planet and, you know, being a force for good around Metropolis during year one. But eventually...
in general, right?
Yeah. But instead, we were thwarted into Batman v Superman because it feels like the studio was just saying, we don't have confidence in this version of Superman. So what are we going to do? We're going to throw Batman in it because that's our most money-grabbing character, you know? So now do Batman v Superman, not versus. We don't want them to think that we're fighting because best friends don't fight.
So what does V mean?
It means versatile. You know what it means.
But it doesn't mean it?
But it's just subliminal. Ugh. So anyway, some would say that was a missed opportunity whenever we could have had a Superman existing on his own instead of thwarting in now a Batman who's existed beforehand and an Aquaman and a Flash and a Wonder Woman who's been around since God knows how long. But there's only one picture of her. And look, I respect potential, but it's just idiotic is what I think, is just to try to reinvent the wheel. And there was a notion, LJ, that they would say that Wonder Woman was a descendant of a Kryptonian. And so in a way to tie it back to, because everybody's so afraid to address magic. You know what Superman's weaknesses are, LJ?
Kryptonite?
And?
Love?
Magic.
Oh, magic?
Yeah.
Kryptonite and love.
And love.
Love, dude. Love messed him up.
Well, with all that being said, Superman and Lois is in question of being canceled. And I just hope that it's not being canceled. And I have something that it's quite possibly one of the best versions of the character is being forced to face issues. And I don't want to spoil this for you because you haven't watched it. And so maybe we can watch it. But they're being forced to face issues that are really humanizing. It's crazy. And I hope that they don't cancel it in this, in the middle of this storyline.
Well, let's hope they don't.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Did they already?
No, not yet. Not yet. I just think that this is one of the most versions that's been true to the character of Superman. And it just shows that even if he's invincible, like Jor-El said in the first movie in the Fortress of Solitude, in Superman, the movie. I'm sorry, just the movie.
Not
Did you see the
Superman
movie? No, it's just the movie. He said, your enemies will discover the only way to hurt you is by hurting the people that you care for. And that's why he wanted him to keep his secret identity, Anyway, this is such a great representation of Superman and his supporting characters dealing with humanizing issues, and I hope they don't cancel it mid-storyline. So, and I guess I would be remiss if I didn't. You haven't seen anything of Superman and Lois at all?
Other than I think we did a podcast on the very first episode, maybe the second one.
No, you're confusing that with Lois and Clark.
What did you say? Lois and who?
Lois and Clark. So there's another.
What the fuck? You just said Lois. You just said.
No, I said Superman and Lois. I'm
what
sorry.
The fuck? You didn't fucking say Superman and Lois. You tripped me out, dude. I was like,
Well, then I'm mistaken. That whole time
you're
I'm
gonna
talking
have to
about.
go back and listen to that because that was hilarious.
Well, I meant Superman and Lois.
Because I'm like, what? I'm like, you're fucking with me, dude. That's what I thought you were doing.
No,
bastard.
I'm sorry.
It's
So
okay.
you haven't seen.
You
haven't seen
forgive
it.
you.
Yeah, I know.
No, just the first one. The one that we watched.
You haven't seen that. That's called Lois and Clark. What we watched.
Okay.
Superman and Lois is a whole new series.
Yeah, okay. I've never seen Superman and Lois.
Well, we'll check that out, dude, because it's really humanizing, man.
We'll need to. Yeah.
I'm just they talk about loss of children, with him being a Kryptonian. They talk about like they lose a child, and I don't want to spoil it. I just don't want to spoil it for you.
Then
I think that you and the family would enjoy this show. So it's on the CW.
Superman and Clark.
I'll text
Lois
it to you
and
afterwards.
Superman.
I'll text
Superman.
I'll text it to you afterwards. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Ruby Spears cartoon. Whenever I was a kid, those stories were, So there was a very short animated Superman series that would come on TV, and I swear remember,
this Superman, he goes deep, man.
We've had so many canceled stuff. I tell you,
this is just so deep, man. This is a bit ridiculous in terms of deepness.
But whenever I was a kid, all those stories were self-contained in the Ruby Spears. Like he would be
and
solving.
You know what? When you say that, like it sounds familiar, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, We've got all the time in the world.
Hey, Casey, you know what time it is?
Miller time?
Oh,
Is that
no.
it?
You know what? At this point, now I got you because you were supposed to say trivia time.
Oh! You got some trivia?
No, I don't.
You can only ring that trivia bell, and that's like what do they call that?
When you know what? Whenever you watch those shows that are like when people die inside, exactly what happened.
You were supposed to ring.
Shit, dude! I'm so sorry. That was hilarious.
You didn't have any trivia, you know.
I didn't have any trivia.
This is what I saw when I was a kid.
But you know what? We probably need to do that the next time, and then I have trivia.
If you work it out that way, dude. So this is the introduction I saw as a child. Because granted, look, we only had the Superman movies. There was no TV show besides the George Reeves old school black and white. This was something modern. Oh my god, that's so fucking loud. Anyway, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. I want to do
anyway.
At least the intro. I was trying to find the intro.
Cut this out. Remove it. XXX. I'm just leaving a time marker.
See how it even has. Let's start that again. I don't know if the audio captured.
Turn it up a little bit.
See how it almost has the John Williams.
All I know is that he went into hyperactive speed right there to get those lights.
Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, it's an ape. I remember this episode.
He's like, I'm gonna fuck that ape up.
Look, yeah.
He's like, oh my gosh, dude, that's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
It's like, I'm gonna fuck that ape up.
And how everything was like, you know, it just felt like well, every episode was contained. So whenever it was taken off the air, it wasn't really that big of a deal because they kind of ran, you know. But there's a lot of those things like these things we talked about today that just did not have any resolution, you know.
Yeah.
So
you know, whenever I hear the description of Superman, and I just got to say this because this is my favorite part of how they describe him.
Yes.
And when they say able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, the way that they describe that is very, very cool. I like how they describe that because they could have just said he can jump over a tall building.
No,
know, but
yeah,
the way that they phrased that, I thought it was pretty cool. That's my favorite part of that.
A lot of that was like back in the radio days where it's like, yes,
where they had to use descriptive words like that to really tell the story. That's true. That's true.
And they'd be like, "This looks like a job for Superman," and that's how they would do things like that. You know, if
they were like, "Wow,
or Superman."
Really bad.
This. Let me try it again. This looks like a job for Superman.
You gotta cut that out.
No, we're gonna keep it.
No, we can't because it looks like I'm doing something nasty.
You're just laughing. You'll be above my head.
Damn it.
So, just to ask you, LJ, what qualities do you look for in someone who plays Superman? Because we're gonna have someone who's a lot younger, you know, and they're gonna be having this responsibility of taking on this role for probably about 10, 15, 20 years, because the idea is that the actor who plays Superman in the film will also play Superman in all of the animation and all of the video games and everything else that entails that. So it's going to be.
Well, I don't know. I don't see somebody too terribly like legit for 20 years. Like that's a long fucking time.
It is a long time, but I mean, hey, how long was Iron Man?
Change. Because in 20 years, man, you change. It may not be a drastic change, but it's enough to tell a difference. So I don't know, man. I think that they would have to find some way to maybe 10 years.
But what I'm asking,
15.
Don't pick apart that question. What I'm asking is what qualities.
I just did.
What I'm asking is what qualities do you want to see in the character? who plays Superman. Like, I'd like to see.
I can only. You'd like to see what?
I'd like to see someone who's, straightforward and honest and doesn't have a bad
Well-
reputation and tells the truth. Like Henry Cavill, whenever you look at him, every actor who's embodied the character of Superman has to have a certain je ne sais quoi, has to have a certain characteristic that they're like, I'm a holder of a torch that's only been passed to a handful of people, and how I present myself in public, and like, because if you're Superman, you're not going to go out and get drunk on, well, maybe you are, who knows, Henry Cavill.
I think that would be crazy.
But yeah, so what characteristics do you? I think virtue, optimism, hope.
I guess it would be based off of what we know about who Superman already is.
Yeah, there you go. So
And-
elaborate on that. There you go.
Yeah. I think I think he embodies somebody that's trusted, so trust, and somebody that is, I don't know, not afraid to stand up for what is right.
For what's
Like
right,
if-
tell the truth.
Yeah, I think that probably more than anything that he would like Captain America. Like he
They're
stands
very
very
similar. Dude.
righteous. Yeah. So that's how I would describe it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just a couple things before we wrap up here, LJ. Again, I just want to thank Superman Homepage Live for having me on yesterday. That was amazing. So are you
That was a great opportunity.
Yeah, I'll show it to you when we get off the air. In terms of Superman, attire, are you cool with shorts and a belt? How we saw in that photo, that fan made photo just earlier.
Yeah, just modernized and tailored to what we would think of today.
But
in
no,
terms
like
of-
chain armor. How
No.
it's been, I think we're
as
done.
long as the onesie is not a thong,
It's not a thong.
I'm good.
Oh my god, you're all about that. You see him from behind, but he's got the cape, so you could not.
I could be telling
I
the
see
truth.
what you're
man.
saying. You could be
That's
telling the
fact,
truth.
dude.
Who knows?
Anyway.
All right, so belt.
But
no
yeah, I don't
belt.
care.
Yeah. I love the yellow belt and the gold buckle. I just want. That's what when I see
You-
Superman, Christopher Reeve, in front of New York. Here, let me.
Come to me on the internet.
Come to
Man.
me, son of Jarrell! Kneel before sword!
Man, I think about technology today, and then I think about whenever I watched Back to the Future. I think it was the third one where he was like, "Give me channels 32, 89, 137, and 75," and then you were like, "Oh, I wish we had technology like that."
So like that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that looks normal. That looks like that's like what I would see Superman in.
I know
But
that
just
yeah.
modernized, right? So I guess
look at that. That's a
young
real
lad
photo.
from today, and then kind of like, what was that guy's name?
Look at that. That's a real photo. I'm okay with the curl.
No shit,
Maybe-
that's a real photo.
Yeah, that's a real photo.
It's not like photoshopped.
It's enhanced due to I don't know if you
get
see at
that.
the
I mean,
bottom
from
here.
back then, yeah.
CapeToWonder.com. Cape to
But
Wonder.
he really, they really took that shot. Like maybe he was standing on something and they took the shot.
Yeah, he was standing on like some boards or a box or something. See it?
Oh, the rock or something that looked like a rock.
See what I mean?
Oh yeah, no shit, that's badass. That is kind of a cool pic. And apparently they took several,
They did.
several different angles.
Yeah.
That's
But
cool.
anyway, well, I was gonna say if if there's anything that you my last question here is have you ever had any show or anything you were watching get canceled or just not come back next season and you were like, what the fuck? But I guess not.
We've established that.
We've
Casey.
established that. Dude, that's hilarious. Well, man, this has been a great episode. And I want to thank you for joining me again today, LJ.
You got it, man. I had
You're-
fun today.
In your West Wing of the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and again, I want to thank Superman Homepage Live for having me on. So, anyway, LJ, thanks for tuning in, dude.
Absolutely, man. Always a pleasure, Casey.
All right, we'll see you later.
Later, buddy.
Oh, I forgot. You've been listening to Capestightsandlightsabers. Recording stop. All right, we stopped recording.
Recording stop.